The saying goes, you don't know what you don't know. And it's often said when you are experiencing fear, self doubt, procrastination, in response to you triggering your traumas because you feel like you can't get it right. And to soothe the wound of rejection, we remind you that you don't know what you don't know. Well, what if you don't know what you don't know? Because everyone is talking around the foundational information that will start the shift of change in your life. On today's episode of the Big Profit Energy podcast, I want to talk to you about becoming and what it really means to become your future self, your higher self, the version of you that has it all. How can you even become that person if no one has even told you what the higher self is and why it's important? Let's get into it. Welcome to the Big Profit Energy Podcast. I'm your host, Kim McCarter. Now, I'm going to give you a heads up. This is not your average business talk podcast. Big Profit Energy is all about the raw, the real, and the radical. I'm going to be your guide, your coach, and the voice in your ear, reminding you, baby, you got this.
Yeah.
I know it can be really hard to believe, but I want you to know without a shadow of doubt that there is a version of you, yes, you, that's absolutely limitless. A version of you that radiates with wisdom and is just waiting to guide you to your greatest potential. And if you are wondering what that version of you is, that is your higher self. And I know for some of you, you're like, okay, we about to get real mystical up in here. And the truth is we are, but we are not. Your higher self isn't about pulling rabbits out of hats. It's about connecting with that deep, authentic part of you that knows exactly what you want, what you need, and how to get there. And I know it seems crazy because so many of you be in your heads trying to figure out what's the path and what's the steps. And you want to have these guaranteed outcomes. And the whole time, your higher self is your inner GPS. It is your soul's compass guiding you through life's ups and downs with grace and gusto, hustle, grind, and ease, and love, and compassion, and empathy. It's everything you need to make the journey possible, all rolled into one, but you are allowing your limiting beliefs to keep you on a Ferris wheel of fear and doubt. And what's crazy is that accessing the higher self, you don't need to be a part of the Illuminati or some exclusive club. It ain't just for a few people out there. It's something that is available to everyone. It's as accessible as your next breath. But it is going to require you to do something hard. It's going to require you to pull back the layers of doubt, fear, all those I can't moments. And you really have to sit down in your core and stand on your business and say, I absolutely can and I will. And that's hard. It is harder than people like to admit. It's hard to admit you don't know it all, even though you say, I know I don't know it all. I don't know what I don't know. You love to admit that because it's cute and you hear people saying it on social media. but you aren't really doing the work to figure out why you don't have it all, why you don't know it all, and how you can move it forward. Because doing that real inner work is going to be hard. When you do the inner work, it's going to require you to address things that you rather keep hidden. And as long as they're hidden, they're out of sight, out of mind. And meanwhile, you're wondering why you can't get to the next level. Because all of those things that you're keeping out of sight, out of mind, are the things that you absolutely must address so that way you can get to where you're going, especially when it comes to your entrepreneurship journey. Because the key to unlocking a life and business that's not just successful, but soul satisfying is going to require you to do things that you've never done before in ways that you've never done them before so you can experience things that you've never experienced before. It's about understanding that you can make decisions not out of panic or pressure, but from a place of peace and power. That's what tuning into your higher self can do for you. And I think the real question that comes up, even once you know what the higher self is, but how do I make this connection? It's so easy, yet hard. And it's one of the things that people struggle with the most. And it's sitting in quiet. It is quiet time. And every time I talk to women entrepreneurs, especially Black women, you want to tell me about all of the things that you have going on. You want to remind me about your family obligations, your work obligations, hanging out with friends, doing this for your man, doing this with your cousins, what you got to do for clients, that you try to tell me that you don't have time for quiet time. But the truth of the matter is, if you can't take 1 hour a day in soul care, not self-care where you go in and you do your face and you take your shower and your bath, you go get your nails and your eyelashes done. No, I'm talking about soul care. 1 hour a day in soul care, when you spend time with you on your personal development and your relationship with God, so that way you can reconnect with who you are. It is so simple. You can journal, you can take a walk, you can meditate. I have a client who I used to work with, and her thing was baths. She absolutely had to get in a tub of water every single day. Whatever helps you dial down the noise of the outside world and tune into your own inner wisdom is what you need to do each and every day for at least 1 hour to connect with your higher self. When you do this, you listen, I mean really listen to what your heart is telling you, your higher self will show up and show out for its own regard, because it is always speaking. It is always there guiding you. You just have to be willing to turn up the volume and pay attention. Let me tell you something. When you start living from this place of higher connection, the game changes. You move from chasing to attracting, from doubting to knowing, from surviving to thriving. You start to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You find the courage to leap where others hesitate. That right there, that is the power of your higher self. And one of the reasons why I am telling you this is because I want you to make a promise to yourself. I want you to promise to yourself that starting today, you are going to lean in, listen, and let your higher self lead the way. Because when you do, you're not just going out there and building businesses, you are going to start building legacies. And when I say you, I'm talking to each and every one of you who are in the sound wave of my voice as it comes through your phone and your speakers. We're not just out here making money, we're out here making a difference. That is what Big Profit Energy is all about. Your higher self has your back. And as your breakthrough coach, so do I. Hey there, dreamers and doers. Are you ready to ditch the overwhelm and step into a flow that aligns with your deepest desires? I know if you're anything like me, you know it is time for a change. And that's why I want to invite you to download my free guidebook, Hustle and Flow. Listen, This is your season of big profit energy, and it is not about working harder. It's about working smarter with intention and alignment. And I want to invite you to discover how to blend strategy with soul, action with alignment, and hustle with flow. If you're looking to transform your approach to success and manifest your dreams with ease, this guide is your blueprint. Tune in, align, and let's make magic happen together. Download your free guide on our website at www.bigprofitenergy.com/guide. Sometimes I get carried away and I start talking about something, and I go into the assumption that you know exactly what it is I'm talking about. And because this episode is really dedicated to explaining to you what things are and why you should know them, so that way you can begin the process of knowing what it is you don't know, I want to spend a few moments to really break down what soul care is, why it's important, how it can become your game changer, and how to create your own process. When I think about soul care, it is the connection between what you are experiencing in your daily reality, how you are going to connect with your higher self, while also understanding that you have to make decisions from a place that you are not actually living in the moment, right? And the reason why having this bridge is so important is because we don't want to get into a space where we are faking it till we make it, where we are so in regard to the higher self and to the vision that we aren't paying attention to our reality. Because when that happens, you actually become delusional, and you become so delusional that you don't even see what's right in front of you, and you start ignoring it in an unhealthy way. I've seen that happen to a lot of entrepreneurs, and I don't want you to get into that space, because when you are living in that type of delusion and you are ignoring what's right in front of you, you can honestly wake up and wonder, where did your life go wrong, while everyone around you was witnessing the demise of it. Soul care is that practice, that daily practice that's going to keep you grounded and give you the bridge between who you are today and who you are becoming. And it is a daily practice. It's not about having another task on your to do list. It is making sure that you understand that it is the heartbeat of your personal growth, and by extension, your business's growth as well. One of the things I can honestly say, that since I started practicing soul care, I can tell when I'm out of practice. I can also tell when it's time for me to elevate my routine. When I get out of practice, I start experiencing a drain in my energy. And often I notice my thoughts will wander to places they don't need to be more often. And when I say wander to places they don't need to be more often, I'm talking about the why isn't this working as quickly as I want it to thoughts. Soul care is the practice of nurturing that inner self, your essence, and the very core of who you are. It's also about giving you the tools and the resources to experience personal growth. And how you create your soul care routine is going to be dependent on who you are. Because when you're creating moments in your day that allow you to connect deeply with your spirituality, your emotions, and your mental health, it's where you begin to recharge, find clarity, and tap into that boundless energy that fuels your dreams and ambitions. And the reason why I say it's going to be unique to who you are is because how you process, how you learn, and how you connect may look different. So that quiet time is going to be an essential part of that, but how you set it up is going to look different. Like I tell people all the time, I'm a moody bitch. And I like being a moody bitch, right? And what I mean by that is like my soul care is about setting a mood. It's about being intentional. I want the dim lights, the candles, the tea, the coffee. I want my highlighters, my post-it notes, my journals. I want the soft music playing. Like I want to set a mood. But there are going to be times when I don't have access to all of that, right? So because I don't have access to all of that, but I still need a moment of soul care, I still create intention and mood. And how I create that intention and mood, it looks a little different, right? I may not have the candles, the tea and all that, but I do have a place where I can just close my eyes and get there. When I first started soul care, finding quiet time with myself was not easy. I had to use things like guided visualizations in order to help me practice the soul care that I needed. And by using guided visualizations, it really helped me understand how to follow along and create those quiet moments because I was only tuning in to the voice that I was listening to. Then, as I started practicing guided visualizations more and more, I started to realize that I could take myself into a visualization by myself because now I was becoming more intentional. I understood what the process was, I understood what worked for me and what didn't work for me. Now, for some of you, sitting quietly with a cup of tea before the world wakes up, journaling your thoughts and your intentions for each day, that's how you're going to want to practice your soul care. Then for some people, it's going to be that midday walk where you're connecting with nature, you're feeling the earth under their feet and the sun on your face, and it's reminding you of the beauty and the abundance of the world that surrounds us. And then for some, it's going to be more of the end of the day where you're practicing gratitude, you're acknowledging your wins, you're learning from the challenges, and you're setting intentions for your tomorrow. There are some of us who like doing it all and we like switching it up and we like connecting with ourselves on more than one occasion. The thing that really sets soul care apart and really helps take you into a new dimension of success is practicing your personal growth in your soul care routine. And that can be as easy as reading 10 pages in a personal growth book. It could be listening to a podcast or audio book that's on personal growth. But one of the things I have really found when it comes to my soul care routine is having a book that I am committed to listening to over and over and over again. I will never forget when Bob Proctor said, "You cannot master something because you read it or listened to it once and go, I know that." No, you do not. You can probably give us the premise of the book, but you really haven't mastered it. You really haven't committed to the process and what it is that you are learning. If you are just starting out with soul care, I think the best book to start out with and commit to listening to every day for 90 days is The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Lavelle Shen. That is probably the best book to start out with. I recommend it to all of my clients when they first begin their soul care routines. Now, if you are someone who's a little bit more advanced, you might find Bob Proctor's book is really well, and it is his book. Hold on, let me give you the exact title because that exact title is going to make a difference. And I got to get it off the Audible. So give me a second here. The Secret of the Science of Getting Rich. Let's see. I'm looking through my Audible to see what else would be a good one. The Secret of the Science of Getting Rich would be a good one. The Big Leap may be a good one for some of you as well. But honestly, I would recommend The Game of Life and How to Play It. Like, The Game of Life and How to Play It is the perfect book to start off with. And honestly, I'm going to say this, even if you have read The Game of Life and How to Play it, even if you feel like you are a little bit more advanced when it comes to mindset and manifestation, go back and listen to the complete Game of Life and How to Play it. It's by Chris Gentry. What it is, he narrates the book by Florence Scovel Shinn, and commit to listening to The Game of Life and How to Play it once a day in completion for 90 days. Matter of fact, 90 days may be a little too long for some of you, okay? As soon as you hear 90 days, you're like, 90 days? Commit to doing it for the next 30 days because they tell you it takes 21 days for something to become a habit, right? Commit to doing it for the next 30 days, listening to the complete Game of Life and How to Play it in its entirety for 30 days. And I promise you will see and experience abundance and increase in your life. The key here is to find practices that resonate with you, okay? That you want to find the things that's going to bring you joy, peace, and a sense of connection to something that's greater than yourself, but you also need to add something that is going to stretch you. Committing to listening to something in its entirety for 30 days is your stretch point. So, regardless of what else you have going on, whether it's prayer, creative expression, meditation, you want to make sure you are feeding your spirit in a way that allows it to thrive. Because when your soul is cared for, it's going to shine through in every aspect of your life. It's going to be your soul that is showing your glow up across social media, in your writing, in your videos. When you walk into rooms, people are going to be like, oh, I want what she having. Right? It's going to give you that calmness when you are making decisions because you making your decisions from your peace and your power. It's going to be the resilience that you need to face adversity. It's going to attract opportunities, the people, the places, the experiences that really align with your deepest desires and your value. So I want you to commit to incorporating soul care into your daily routine. You can start with saying, I am going to commit to giving myself 1 hour a day so that way I can nurture my soul and transform my life. And I'm going to commit to this for 30 days. Now, listening to that book in its entirety doesn't have to happen in your soul care routine, right? You may decide you want to listen to that book as you sleep. You may decide you want to listen to it as you're working throughout the day. Like, it can just be running in the background. You're not listening to it to commit it to memory. You're listening to it so that way it can work its way into your subconscious. Having your soul care routine is not about adding more to your plate. It's about enriching the quality of every moment that you have. It's about giving you a way to connect with your higher self so that way you can begin the process of embodiment. Embodying the power, the resilience, the strength, the perseverance, the power, the calmness, the love, the empathy, the compassion, all the components of the things that you need so that way you can attract your deepest desires. So that way you can bring the visions that you are praying for into your lived experience and reality. I'm going to say this as I close out. I want you to remember that in the hustle of building dreams and breaking barriers, taking care of your soul is not a luxury. It is a necessity. Your journey to success is not just about the milestones you achieve, but you have to remember to give yourself the moments of joy, growth, and fulfillment because you deserve to live a life that blows your mother mind. That should be a non-negotiable. The same way success is a non-negotiable, the same way getting to the bag is a non-negotiable, the same way attracting clients and doing the work is a non-negotiable, your soul care becomes your non-negotiable. It becomes the compass that guides you to your true north. I want you to honor it. I want you to nurture it, and I want you to allow it to lead the way to the life and business that not only prospers, but flourishes in every sense of the word. I want you to keep radiating with big profit energy and know that I am right here with you along the way, cheering you on every step of the way. I want you to remember that you got this. You got this, you got this, you got this. And before we head out, I want to let you know that I am hosting the very first Recalibrate Live. It is my 2-day in-person conference. It's being held in Newark, New Jersey, August 22nd and 23rd. I am bringing together a group of Black women entrepreneurs who really want to understand what it means to live a life where they have it all. I'm letting you know right now that every woman that steps into this room, none of us are leaving those 2 days the same. We won't, myself included, because we are going to find, activate, and release our higher self into the world before we disperse. We are going to change lives in that room. We are going to unlock some things that we didn't even know it was hidden. And we are going to go back to our homes ready to take on the world and activate success at the highest levels of understanding. I want you to join me in Newark, New Jersey, August 22nd and 23rd for Recalibrate Live 2024. The link for early bird registration is going to be in the show notes. You can also find the link for early bird registration all across social media and on our website. Until the next episode, always remember, baby, you got this.
Yeah.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of Big Profit Energy. I want you to remember, your power and success are in your hands. Keep channeling your main character energy, and don't forget to manifest your dreams into reality. Until next time, stay empowered, stay inspired, and keep igniting that big profit energy. Be sure to hit subscribe for more, and let's keep this energy flowing. I'll see you on the next episode of Big Profit Energy.